8 days, you got to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to campus here at Bishop Guertin High School. It is Division I quarterfinal basketball action featuring the #1 seeded Bishop Guertin Cardinals, and they're taking on the upstart Concord High School Crimson Tide. Jason Roby here calling the action for you. Steve Cody is the man on the moving pictures this evening. I'm here with head coach Brad Craik. And coach, it's been an interesting tournament up until tonight. 3 upsets. I don't know if you call them upsets, but they were 3 lower seeded teams moving on from that first round of games. You, of course, had the first round bye. Have you talked to your girls about that at all heading into this second season?
Yeah, we've talked to them about it and obviously emphasized the fact that this is one and done, and on any given evening, anybody can beat anybody in the tournament. And, the fact that there were 3, as you say, upsets certainly was helpful in terms of reinforcing that fact.
The other piece, the thing I want to talk about is you're no stranger to this Concord High team. You faced them back at the end of January, I believe it was, and it was a pretty sizable win. But anytime you play a team twice, the game doesn't always look like the first one. Is it the same game plan for you guys going into tonight?
A couple little wrinkles based on what we saw from them the first time we played them, but nothing significant. We really just tried to focus over the last 7 or 8 days. A lot of downtime for us, but just try to get back to very basic fundamental stuff first couple, 3 days, and then build from there. So I don't think you'll see anything, seismically different in what we do.
You mentioned that there was quite a long layoff there, about 8 days, 7 or 8 days, I believe, since you last had a competitive game. But that doesn't mean you weren't competing in practices. As I noticed down on the floor there, one of your players has some extra hardware on tonight. You want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I think it's just a reflection from the lights, optical illusion. But it got intense. It got intense this week in a good way, in a very good way.
Yeah.
I really, really loved, the way the kids kind of got after it in anticipation of, hopefully the next handful of days ahead of them. So we had some really good practices. They were focused. Got a couple bumps and bruises because of it.
Yeah.
But everybody's fine and ready to go.
That's great. No, that's good news, and certainly a team that is firing in all cylinders, especially at this time of the year. But inevitably, sometimes when you had that kind of layoff, even though your practices are competitive and so forth, there can be a little bit of rust in there. And do you foresee maybe that happening to your girls here tonight?
I hope not, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yep.
We've been fortunate enough on a handful of occasions to have a first-round bye in this tournament. I'd say more often than not. It took us a few minutes to find our legs and get into a groove. So it'd be great if it didn't happen, but I don't think anybody's going to lose their mind if it does.
Let's talk a little about this Concord High team tonight. You're familiar with them, and obviously they're a team that, hey, look, they're one of those upsets that we talked about, heading over to Dover and beating them. Oh, by the way, Dover beat them by 20 during the regular season. So a team that is certainly capable of playing at a higher level, and they'll have to do that here tonight. But what can you tell us you need to do against this Crimson Tide team here tonight to have success?
Yeah, I think we've just got to play hard and consistently from start to finish. Dover had them on the ropes early, and these guys don't go away. So they just kept chipping away. They'll definitely going to do that against us. I don't care what the score is. So we're just going to have to match and hopefully exceed that intensity.
Well, I wish you the best of luck here. It's a quarterfinal basketball action. Win tonight, head to the semifinals, and just like that, we are back at it. It seems like yesterday that we were having this conversation on the campus of the University of New Hampshire after the championship game, and boom, here we are back close to that time, and obviously a lot of work to do between now and then, but best of luck here this evening.
Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right, he is the head coach of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, Brad Craik, and he has his Lady Cardinals ready to go. Quarterfinal basketball action coming up here in just a minute. We'll take it down to the floor for the rest of warm-ups, and we'll talk to you a little bit about some of the things you can expect tonight, what we have seen so far in this tournament. We mentioned a couple of upsets as Exeter High School losing to Manchester Memorial. We talked a lot about that Exeter High School team and how they were really good, but don't forget, we also sat in that gym at Manchester Memorial and made the statement that if this team finds its legs, they're going to surprise some people, and they did just that, heading into Exeter and defeating them. Well, not to mention this Concord High team heading into Dover, and also Wyndham was upset as well. So if Bishop Guertin needed to let it be known that upsets can happen, and they do happen, look no further than the 2023 state tournament here in Division I. We got about 30 seconds till introductions. We'll take it down to the floor and get things going. 3 officials here tonight as we head into postseason action. We mentioned that these two teams did battle at the end of January, January 31st to be exact. It was a 74-36 Cardinal victory way back when, but this is a different team now, and a berth to the semifinals is on the line. We will meet both starting lineups here. And as mentioned, this is a Concord High School team that defeated Dover 46-42 in the first round of the playoffs. And they lost to this Dover team by 22 points back on January 17th. So when you're playing with house money and you have nothing to lose, you can become very, very dangerous. And as Coach Craig mentioned, it's a one-and-done situation. There are no tomorrows if you don't take care of business tonight. Got a scoring update for you. Goffstown was ahead of Pinkerton by 5 points in the first half, so we'll try to keep a close eye on that one as well. The lights go down, and we'll meet the visiting Concord Crimson Tide. Number 3 is Whitney Valiant. Jalen Jefferson, a 5'7" junior, gets the start. Ada Smalley, 5'10" junior. Delaney Dufour, I actually had a nice conversation with her dad prior to the game. We grew up together back in the day. It is a small world here in the Granite State. And Sophia Payne rounding out the starting lineup. Rob Darrell is the head man for the Crimson Tide. And now let's meet the number 1 seed, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Number 1, senior Brooke Paquette, 5'8" senior guard. Number 11, Liv Murray, another 5'8" senior guard, having a terrific year. Number 12, a junior, Hannah Smith, or Lynch rather, excuse me. Wow, I botched that one, Steve, gosh. Megan Stack, 6'1" senior. And Caitlin Wheeler, 5'11" senior. Brad Crake is the head man. Yeah, it's only been the starting 5 pretty much the whole year. How could I butcher that? We'll take a break. We'll be back after the national anthem. All right, Division I girls quarterfinal basketball action here from the campus of Bishop Guertin. Jason Roby calling all the action for you, along with the highlight guy, Steve Cody, on the moving pictures. Happy to be here with you. There is an impending storm scheduled for tonight that could make things a bit messy tomorrow for the boys' quarterfinal rounds here in Nashua, as Bishop Guertin will head over to Nashua South, and Nashua North will host Exeter, a rematch of last year's tournament game. But before we get there, we've got to take care of our business here as the Lady Cardinals step foot onto the floor. Megan Stack to jump with Sophia Payne. And we are ready to get underway. Quarterfinal action, girls Division I basketball. And Stack took the ball on the jump ball, not allowed to take your own jump. They'll talk it over it because another player touched it. And so because another player touched it, Stack was allowed to get possession. Little known rule there, Steve, and if not, I just made something up, so we'll go with it. Paquette comes over half court, marked up by Valiant. Little backdoor cut is shut down. Paquette reverses the floor. Here comes the double team. She splits it, throws it up high off the glass. Couldn't get it to go as Jefferson pulled down the board. This is Duford now. He'll skip it across the way. Jefferson, kick to the baseline. Smalley, dribble drive, kick out. Nice ball movement by the Crimson Tide. And they are on the board first as Whitney Valiant knocks down a three-pointer. Paquette splits the triple team there. Goes coast to coast. Here comes the BG vaunted pressure. We'll see how the Crimson Tide handle it. They have had a few days to figure this out, and they do nicely. Fired from the outside, and Jefferson plays a little Yahtzee of her own. 6-2, Crimson Tide. Hanag goes strong into the middle of the paint. Lynch gets fouled. She'll head to the line for a pair of free throws. So the foul will go against Jefferson. That'll be her first personal, team's first. And Lynch will head to the line for a pair. Rainmaker hits back iron, no good on the first. She'll get a second. As we mentioned, playing with house money, and also if you shoot 100% from the outside, that could make things interesting as well. Lynch misses both, and back the other way come the Crimson Tide. Duford now passes it over to Smalley on the baseline, and she'll fire. So 3 for 3, 9-2, Concord. Kick out to the baseline. From the outside, a Yahtzee of her own for Wheeler. Someone get the calculators out. It's abacus time. And a jump ball is called. Concord will get possession, 9-5, Crimson Tide. And it just goes to show, Steve, you hit 3 3-pointers and you're still only up by 4. Baseline is cut off. Paquette steals it. Pretty bounce pass, and no call there. Wheeler couldn't believe it. I'm going to say that ball went off of the Crimson Tide Cardinal ball, and there is the benefit of 3 officials on the floor all the way down the other end of the floor on the baseline. This official saw it. Murray to do the honors. Up over the top, trying to establish Stack. There was a triple team there. Valiant comes away with the steal. Left-hand dribble working on Paquette. Bounce pass goes over to Duford and back to Valiant. Left-hand dribble, baseline runner in the lane is good. So another bucket there. Valiant has 5. Going the other way, hitting the deck hard, and Wheeler's on the floor, and she'll come back slowly, holding her eye. Hope she's okay. Fired from the outside. First missed shot for the Crimson Tide. Offensive rebound, up and in for Sophia Payne. And Coach Craig calls timeout, and the Crimson Tide erupts. And it is high tide right now, as it is 13-5, Concord Crimson Tide. They are 3 for 3 from behind the arc. 5 out of 6 from the floor. And if you play with those percentages for the remainder of the night, we know who's going to advance. But a lot of basketball left to play here. We talked about weathering that storm from the standpoint of being a little rusty after such a long layoff. This Crimson Tide team played just a couple of nights ago. Meanwhile, Guertin hasn't seen the floor in 8 nights. So Coach Darrell's Crimson Tide team on fire from the outside right now. Murray to take the ball out of bounds, and the Crimson Tide will pick up just over half court here. Notice Murray's wearing a clear plastic face mask from what Coach Craig talked about, those aggressive practices here. Backdoor cut, stepping into the passing lane was Valiant. And they anticipated that quite nicely. Bounce pass stolen by Wheeler, hands it off to Paquette. Cards will run, skipped over. Lynch found Murray, back iron, no. Good positioning on the glass. And Payne cleared the boards. 13-5, Crimson Tide. Baseline drive, kicked off, elbow, Yahtzee. Another bucket there for Sophia Payne, and she has 4. 15-5. Another interception there. This is Valiant. Oh, little dipsy-do up and under hesitation. And Valiant has 7. Murray crossover, hands in there. Daly and Muller will check in. Stack and Wheeler will head to the bench. 10-point Crimson Tide advantage. 3:51 to go in the first quarter. Murray to Lynch to Daly. Daly looking for a cutter, doesn't get it. Lynch will drive, and something tells me Lynch is going to try to take matters into her own hands. Daly, ball went off of a Crimson Tide hand, so Daly battling underneath, and she's the reason why they still have possession. Paquette back to Daly, finds TB underneath. Good body control, and they'll have to take care of their length advantage there. Valiant now slows things down. Work against Lynch, and Lynch kind of stuck her hip there on the baseline. And you'll get called for that every time. That's Hanaz first. So each team with 1 foul apiece. Lynch for the Cards and Jefferson for the Tide. Well, backdoor cut there. The runner in the lane, no. Rebound is taken, and a strong rebound by Brooke Muller, the 6'2 sophomore. Lynch, little ball fake, kicked out. Another ball fake, runner in the lane, no good, cleans up her own mess, and hitting the deck hard is Muller, but she was hacked in the act. We'll check the foul here on the Crimson Tide. It's going to go against number 24, Olivia Crawford. That is her first personal. Malls of Fire getting ready to check in here. So 2 shots for Muller. She knocks down the first, she'll get a second. Malls of Fire will check in for Murray. And Molly coming back just in time here. 2 out of 2 for Muller. She's got 4. Here comes the pressure. He's up over the top and fortunate to come away with that one. 2 Ford now working at the point. Muller slid over. They were trying to take advantage of that pick and roll. Little baseline contest, no call, and Lynch clears the glass. Paquette runs it down. Here comes Smith. Paquette's not shy. In and out. And the Crimson Tide get the rebound, and they'll come the other way. 17-11, Concord High School. Good help defense there by Paquette. They get it out over to the baseline, and oh, you get a player-controlled foul, and that's against Jefferson. That's her second personal. So 17-11. After all of that, Steve Cody, still just a 6-point Concord High advantage. This is Rosemary Layton. She will check in, and Jefferson will check out with the 2 personals. We'll keep an eye on that one. Nice bounce pass to the elbow. Malls of Fire looking for help, finds TB, puts it on the floor. Probably didn't need to, misses the shot. And she doesn't want to get a cheap one either. Coach Craik in the official's ear running down the sideline there. Runner in the lane is up and it's good. Ada Smalley now has 5. 1:48 to go here, first quarter, 19-11 Crimson Tide. Over the top, they were looking for Malls of Fire, and they forced it in there. Paquette again tries to force it in there. Cardinals all kinds of fortunate there, as heading to the hoop was Paquette. She gets hacked in the act, and she'll head to the line for 2. And that's the game. The Crimson Tide has to be careful because Paquette going to start driving to the hoop, and this is where she makes her hay from the free throw line. Paquette hits the first. Checking back in for Coach Craik will be Caitlin Wheeler, and Hannah will come off for her first break. So it's Daly, Wheeler, Paquette, Muller, and Malls of Fire. 2 out of 2 for Brooke. And just as I say that, Paquette will check out and Murray will check back in. 19-13, 6-point advantage for Concord. Duford now. Hits Layton up the sideline, and they'll get things set up back up top. Payne back over to Duford. Little motion up top, Valiant. Ball went off of Layton's foot. She gets control back. And what we're seeing here is another outside shot and another 3-pointer for Delaney Duford. 4 triples here in the first quarter for the Crimson Tide. Trying to spread the lane for Murray. And they wanted to travel, didn't get it. Murray lost it. Malls of Fire for 3. Cardinals fortunate to come away with points there. 22-16, 39 seconds to go. Baseline goes Smalley. She'll fire from the outside, misses everything, and the ball goes out of bounds. Good box out by Wheeler. 32.6 here in the initial quarter. Division I girls quarterfinal action from the campus of Bishop Guertin. The number 1 seeded BG Cardinals are down to the number 9 seed Concord High Crimson Tide. 20 seconds to go here, first quarter. All kinds of triple teams. Wheeler from the outside. It's long, no good. Duford clears the glass, 10 seconds. Over to the baseline. Nobody was there with Smalley. They quickly get in the lane, and TB has the ball, 4 seconds to go. Little Euro step, couldn't finish. Wheeler was open, and we'll come to the end of the first quarter. A 22-16 Crimson Tide advantage. And Concord High, all kinds of smiles going on down there on that sideline. It is a 6-point advantage for the Crimson Tide. They hit 4 triples, count them, 4 triples in that first quarter. And I would like to see what that shooting percentage is, Steve Cody. It's a high percentage to be sure. They have 5 young ladies in the scoring column right now, so all 5 starters for Concord High have scored. Leading the way is Valiant with 7. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, it's TB with 4, Paquette with 3. Meanwhile, Malls of Fire and Wheeler have each hit a 3-pointer, and Hannah has made a 2-point bucket. Jason Roby calling the action for you here with the highlight guy, Steve Cody, the man on the moving pictures. It is Division I quarterfinal basketball action. And the local area represented very well here, both the boys and girls in the area. Crossover dribble, Layton looking for help, gets it from Valiant. She'll pull things back, marked up closely by Hannah, and she is dialed in. Paquette tried to help out. You can see the movement of this BG defensive team here. Nice help defense, one dribble, tried to go back door, no soup for you. Back up top now, skipped out, and they're gonna say it went off of Valiant's hands. BG ball. Olivia Crawford will check in here, the 5'3" sophomore. Paquette steering the ship. Stack from the elbow. Never looked at the basket. Just there for passing purposes only, at least the early part of that possession. Stack now up top, giving some direction, finds Paquette on the right side. Crossover dribble. And Paquette tried to bounce pass it over. And a little bit of a game of twister being played back down on the other end. You'll see that on the highlight guy, as it looked like, I don't know if it was Valiant or Crawford, but they get tangled up with Paquette. And there was like leg wrestling going on down there, but Wheeler will check out and Gilmore will check in. There was, I believe, a foul, and I think it went against Layton. That's her first personal. Hannah in. Gilmore will fire. No. Rebound goes to Hannah. Leather souffle there as Lynch had the ball blocked, and then we'll get called for the foul. And that's going to be Hannah's second personal. So Muller will check back in. 22-16, 6:41 to go here, first half action. Lots of hey, how you doings on the horizon for us, but we got to stick to this basketball action real quick. Ball is turned over. Muller gets it over to Gilmore. Gilmore quickly to Stack. Stack ball fake. In the lane, gets hip checked. And that one's going to go against Payne. Stack will head to the line for a pair. (22-16) Cardinals. Stack gets it to 5. And a pair of Crimson Tide, or one Crimson Tide rather, will check in. Smalley will come in for Payne. And Stack will get a second opportunity here. Megan 2 for 2. Pretty shot by the lefty, and she's on the board. 22-18. Paquette keeping up the pressure. Duford breaks that pressure. Looking for some help, loses the dribble. And good help defense, but unfortunately Stack was in deny defense mode, didn't see the ball, so Smalley comes away with it now on the left side. 6:08 to go. Layton, right hand dribble, pull back. Working on Gilmore, kicked out to the side. No, and good position on the glass by Stack, and she'll run. And a tough pass there as Stack nearly had it stolen. Ball went off of a Crimson Tide foot, but it wasn't a purposed kick. So Concord gets the turnover, 22-18. Onto the elbow it goes to Smalley, kick back out, Duford, she'll fire, and Yahtzee! 5 triples for the Crimson Tide. 7-point Concord advantage. Gilmore on the low block, just take her to the hole. And TB seems to be limping there, may have hurt her ankle. And she's definitely limping as going to the hoop with Stack and finishing. And she looks like she's okay. A little forearm shiver, no call. Step back, knockdown for Smalley. And she has 7. Paquette, Stack. Gilmore now. And Cardinals are waiting for the ball to come to them. Up and under, nice dribble, penetrate, and pass off the Stack. She has 6, all here in the second quarter. 5-point Crimson Tide advantage, 4:35 to go here in the first half. Baseline it goes. Smalley, or Duford rather, will step back and fire, and why not? Crimson Tide come away with that loose ball, passed underneath, and a nice pass as Smalley has 9. Paquette, player-controlled foul going the other way. So Brooke will pick up her first personal. Malls of fire, and Daly will check back in. Paquette and Muller will check out. No panic yet, but definitely not the way you want to start the quarterfinals. That one gonna go off of Duford. Cardinal ball, 29-22. The passes have not been very crisp here, and they've led to several turnovers, and it could be a lot worse as they've come away with some of those loose balls maybe they could have lost. The runner in the lane is no good, and it looked like Murray just tried to force it up there. There was no offense. It was just one and done. Fired from the outside, no. And we're gonna get a call here. I think they're gonna say it's on Daly, and she was boxing out. Oh no, they're gonna, okay, excuse me, they did give it to Layton. They called Layton on the hold because apparently there was a box out that was occurring with Daly. The referees will get together and talk it over. It looks like it is a red hold. Beth Craik nods in agreement. Just keeping score up here. So a 1-and-1 opportunity is a 7th team foul against the Crimson Tide. Daly will head to the line. And the referee still talking it over. Not sure what more needs to be said. But imperative that they get on the same page. Anytime you work with a three-man crew or a 3-person crew, got to make sure you're all on the same page. Daly knocks down the first. She'll earn a second. 29-23, chance to get within 5 on this free throw. Shooters touch friendly rims here at BG. Daly goes 2 for 2. All kinds of pressure being applied. Crimson Tide will just take their time, get it over with time to spare. And playing with their hair on fire now, the Cardinals just pressing the issue, and they will get possession on the alternating jump ball. Jefferson will check in for Valiant. As the Bishop Guertin boys head over to the side of the gym. They had practice here today getting ready for their quarterfinal matchup against Nashua South tomorrow. Runner in the lane by Malls of Fire, no. Another rebound there for Smalley. Back the other way come the Crimson Tide. Layton crossover. Weaves right through the defense, couldn't get it to go. And Jefferson got the rebound. Kicked out to the side. Layton, no. Paquette, ball hits the deck. And Cardinals are very fortunate to get the ball back there. I thought Concord called the timeout. Based on my angle, the Crimson Tide lost possession. Murray, dribble drive, knifes through, they cleared the lane for, and Murray's on the board. 29-26 Crimson Tide. And another defensive play there. And back the other way comes Daly. She'll take it up strong and finishes at the rack. And she's got 4. And a timeout called here by the Crimson Tide. It is a 29-28 advantage. But that lead, which was once over 10 points, now just down to a single digit. So it took some time, but BG starting to come into their own on the defensive side of things here with their half-court defense. And as I quickly take a look at my book here, 8 out of 10 from the free throw line for these Cardinals. So that has been a huge, huge difference in this first half. Meanwhile, a Crimson Tide team that has yet to go to the line, and part of that is because they are shooting at such a high percentage from the floor. They haven't missed very much. Crimson Tide to take the ball out underneath the bucket. They get it in. Here comes the quick trap, and it is sliced there by Duford. Got it over to Layton. Cards will fall back. Daly set to pick up in the half court. She'll work against Crawford. Underneath it goes, baseline. Little runner in the lane, no. And Paquette gets hip checked. No call there. Very fortunate for Jefferson. That would have been her third personal. Malls of Fire going to get called for the travel. Crimson Tide now working inside of 2 minutes in the first half. Duford with the left-hand dribble working against Daly. Daly known for her defensive prowess, but she's got 4 points here in this one. Baseline dribble drive. Good kick out, good recognition by the Crimson Tide. They'll set back up in the half court. Backdoor cut, up and no good. Cleans up her own mess to Jefferson. Again, no call. Loose ball, free throw line extended, no good. And they are gonna call a foul on Jalen Jefferson. And that's going to be her third personal, and Coach Rob Darrell has some words for the official here. And I'm not sure they were that of kind words. Just a guess. Steve Cody not so sure himself. Wheeler will check in, and Malzafire will head to the bench. Meanwhile, Daly will head back to the free throw line, and she will get another 1-and-1 opportunity. Daly in and out, no good. Payne clears the glass, and the Crimson Tide come back the other way. So Guertin has had a couple of chances to at least tie the game. Haven't been able to do it. They're going to say that one went off of, I believe they said it went off of Lynch's hands. So there'll be a little change up in the defensive assignments here as Stack checks back in. And probably a good move. Ball comes out to the perimeter. Smalley baseline. And stepping into that passing lane was Wheeler. And she'll get it to Paquette. 66 seconds now. Wheeler. Hana. Good ball movement here by the Cards. Crossover dribble. Nice pass to Lynch. And somebody ran out of bounds. Again, 3 officials, they can see things a lot better than with just 2, as Layton will check out and Valiant will check back in. 54.1 seconds to go here. Low scoring game up to this point, 29-28. Valiant, kick out to the baseline. Back up top, little dribble drive. Lynch stepped into the passing lane. We'll see how this one goes. Lynch gets hammered, and it's a good foul by Crawford, but that'll be her second, and Hana will head back to the line for a pair. So Lynch, front iron on the first. She's 0 for 3 from the line tonight so far. This one to tie the game. And she does. Paquette got to be careful not to get a cheap one. Breaking the press was Valiant, and Valiant gets pushed. They're going to say it's on the floor. It's not an offensive foul. Valiant was pushed just a little bit there. Foul will go against Stack. That's her first personal. Just the fourth team foul. 29-29. Underneath the hoop play for the Crimson Tide. Very physical game going on here. Elbow fired, no. Murray gonna get called for the carry. And that's a definite yes call. And you can see Coach Craig shaking his head yes. Every time she takes that hesitation step, she gets the hand underneath the basketball and carries it over. Valiant now gets it across over to Dufort. She'll fire from the outside. No. Skying high for that one was Murray. And back the other way come the Cards. And we're going to get an offensive foul as Wheeler was running down that pass over the top. And Wheeler with a noticeable limp here. Hope she's okay. And now she's feeling her neck. So that ball was in the air so long. Crimson Tide player had an opportunity to just stand there for what seemed like forever and get herself set. 15 seconds to go in the first half, 29-29. Ball is on the floor, and we're going to get a jump ball call. Possession stays with Concord. So we'll see if the Crimson Tide try to get one off here with 9 seconds to go. Coach Craig not agreeing with one of the officials on the side. Concord playing out of their minds in this first half. And now the officials starting to become very noticeable in this game as Muller gets called for the foul, and that's one of those deals where you got to stay consistent, call it that way the entire time. And I think for the most part they have. Up over the top. Thrown up, no. Rebound goes to Stack. 4 seconds, 3. And really kind of rushed that. Could have taken a couple more dribbles. And they're going to say it went off of a Crimson Tide hand. And the Concord faithful that have traveled can't believe it. The balcony Muppets have traveled all the way from the capital city. And that one hit the backboard. Clock shouldn't have started there, but referees will talk it over. It is a 29-29 game. Referees still talking it over as both teams will head to the locker room. It wouldn't surprise me, Steve, if these guys put 0.3 of a second back on the clock so that they could have one more out-of-bounds play run. And I think that might be exactly what they're going to do. I could be wrong. It's happened before. And that is exactly what is going to happen. 0.3 of a second to go here in the first quarter. Ball went off the back of the backboard. So we'll do it all over again, but this time I think Concord gets the ball. I have an eye like a hawk, Steve Cody. I see all. All right, so it is 29-29, 0.3 of a second left here. Daly will check in for the Cardinals, and Murray will check out. Crimson Tide gonna try for I don't know what they're gonna try for here, 0.3 of a second, but I guess just don't foul, because that would give you a 1-and-1. Baseball pass goes off a Stack's foot. And that will do it for the end of the first half here from Bishop Guertin. Your score, the Concord Crimson Tide 29, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals 29, and we have got ourselves a game. We'll be back for second half action and all the stats right after this. All right, everybody, welcome back to the campus of Bishop Guertin High School. It is 29-29, and Bishop Guertin here battled back from a 10-point-plus deficit to even things up in the first half. A Concord High Crimson Tide that shot lights out there in the first half. But if you can take any kind of a silver lining approach, it is a NHIAA or a Concord High team that scored 22 points in the first quarter, just 7 in the second. So part of that was due to the fact that Guertin in the half court really started turning up the intensity on the defensive side of things. Meanwhile, the Cardinals' offensive things, 16 in the first quarter, 13 in the second quarter. And if you believe in superstition, Steve, we've got to give a big shout out to Colleen from Cornwall. All right, everything is right with the world now. Also a big hello to Brooke and Deanna, Donna and Don, who are watching up north. Myrtle Beach, hello to Tammy. Kick out. Murray, no. Ball on the floor. Paquette saves it to Lynch. Good hustle play there. Stack dribbles up and gets hacked in the act. So Stack gets hacked in the act. She goes to the rack. She'll be back. Stack will head to the line for a pair of free throws here. Knocks down the first, she'll get a second. It looks like that's going to be Duford's first personal. Stack goes 2 for 2, and don't look now, but the Cardinals have the lead. Almost stolen on the inbounds. Double team comes on the far baseline. And Stack will come away with it. She's on the run. Goes up with the left and finishes strong at the hole. And she's got the first 4 for the Cardinals. And a blocking foul on Lynch. She's moving her feet, and that's got to be the conversation as Stack is moving her feet. And that's going to be Hana's third personal foul. The balcony Muppets showing their disapproval. Ball inbounded across the way, and Hana steps into the passing lane on that one. Gets it, gets pushed into the baseline, no call. Back the other way comes Smalley. Smalley crossover dribble now at the foul line. Kicked out to Valiant. Valiant step back for Smalley, no good. Jefferson was battling for it with Wheeler. Ball will go off Crimson Tide. The Crimson Tide, excuse me. The days of good grammar has went. 6:50 to go here in the third quarter. 33-29 Cardinals. Stack, left-hand dribble. Lynch. Marked up by Jefferson, back up to Wheeler. She'll fire from the outside, no. Glass is cleared by Payne. Back the other way comes Concord High. Duford now, passed out to Valiant. Little motion, pick on ball. Good help defense there, baseline. And Murray stepped into that. Another turnover for the Cards. Kick back to the baseline. And that one is going to go off of the Crimson Tide, but they're going to say, I don't know what they're going to say. Yeah, they'll say it went off of the Crimson Tide as Hannah saved it. I think it went off of Duford, and she's okay. So some sloppy play by both teams here in the early going of this quarter. And official timeout as Payne will come to the sideline. Looks like she has something on her leg, got it cleaned off. So, don't think it was blood. If it was, they'd have to cover that. So I'm not sure what it was. Paquette nearly lost the handle, found its way into Murray's hands, crossover, and she's got to be careful with that carry call, Steve. Runner in the lane, Paquette gets hacked in the act. The foul will go against the Crimson Tide. That is Whitney Valiant. That is just her first personal to go with her 7 points. And now they are taking a closer look at that knee of Payne. Paquette knocks down the first. Layton will check in for Payne. So it looks like we might have some spillage on the floor here, as Paquette will still have one free throw to go. They need to clean up whatever is on the key there, so the flow of this second half is not going swimmingly. Have a score to report to you. Goffstown beats Pinkerton 62-53, and they punched their ticket into the semifinals. They'll face the winner of this one. So, congratulations to Coach Steve Largy and Goffstown. Grizzlies are moving on. Steve Largy, a longtime coach and teacher in Nashua. He coached with me football for a few years. Taught over at Elm Street Middle School and made his way to Goffstown. A very good coach and has done a tremendous job over there. Hopefully we get a chance to see him in the semifinals. A lot of game left to play here, as they may have run to Market Basket to pick up those paper towels that they used to clean off the floor, Steve. The storm is coming. I think we still have time. 34-29, Cardinal advantage. So if it seems like Saturday, it's not quite there yet. Paquette will head to the free throw line for a little continuation. A little extra halftime session. Paquette goes 2 for 2 on that trip. 35-29, here comes the pressure. And I only poke fun because I care. Pulled back there. This is Valiant. Valiant gets stuck in the corner. The double team comes. And good job there by Stack not to throw it up. Oh, and that was an awkward move there by Murray. Saw her leg buckle as she tried to go for a Euro step, it looked like, but she seems to be walking okay, so that's good. Turnover there against the Cardinals. And now Paquette going to get called for a cheap one. And that's the one area, Steve, where three officials, they have a better view of things that are going on the floor up and down that sideline with the extra official. Coach Rob Darrow will call timeout here as we are 2.5 minutes into the third quarter. The Crimson Tide have yet to score. BG, meanwhile, has 6 points in the quarter. 4 for 4 from the free throw line and 1 bucket by Stack. Tomorrow, pending the snowstorm that's on its way, Nashua North set to welcome the Exeter Bluehawks for a 2 o'clock start on the campus of North. Meanwhile, Nashua South will welcome Bishop Guertin in a 4-5 matchup. So it's 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. If the game should be postponed because of weather, they'll be played on Sunday. Murray with the steal. Paquette, she's not shy. Yahtzee! Paquette has 5 in the quarter. 9 total. 38-29 Cardinals. And they skip it across and they end up breaking that press. Layton now. She'll set things up in the half court. Into the corner it goes. Jefferson skips it across up top to Valiant. Valiant using the left, marked up closely there. Good help defense by Stack. Circumnavigating the globe all the way back up top, and the Cards will be the beneficiary of a backcourt violation. Daly will check in for Lynch. And a timeout, I believe, is being called. I don't know, there's some confusion on the floor, maybe not. I thought Daly was checking in. She did. Comes over the top to TB. So Brooke now, the high elbow, kicks it back out to Daly. Daly's looking to get it to Stack. Drop step, left baseline, and good spin on that ball by Stack, and she's got 6 here in the third quarter. Crossover dribble, outside, firing, Valiant. Yes, shooter's touch there for Whitney. And that's her first bucket since the first quarter. She's got 10. They're gonna call Stack on an offensive foul. And I don't know, usually I have a lot to say about a lot. As you know me quite well, I don't have much to say about that. My mom told me if I didn't have anything nice to say, Steve, keep your mouth shut. Back the other way come the Crimson Tide. Pull-up jumper, yes! So this Concord High team not going away quietly as Smalley knocks down the mid-range jumper. So a 3-second violation called against Brooke Muller. And I'm not, Coach Craik is not quite sure how they can call 3 seconds when the ball hasn't gotten over half court yet. That's Coach Craik's contention. And he got the explanation there. It was a shoulder shrug. So there you go. Another carry brought into the lane. Smalley fires, no. Stack. And back the other way is Daly, and finishes on the other end. So if you're the Cardinals, you just got to play your game. And tough foul taken there by Muller. That's going to be her second personal. And Valiant is slow to get up. Hope she's okay, and she appears to be. A nice round of applause from the fans here. She took quite a shot there from Muller. So the 5'11" junior will head to the line for a pair of free throws. Valiant misses the first of 2. Muller will check out. Malls of Fire back in the game. Valiant will get a second opportunity. She's got 10 so far this evening. And misses both. The rebound, however, goes to the Crimson Tide, and a putback by Smalley. She's got 13. Paquette goes to the hole for a bucket. 44-36 Cardinals. And this is going to be a good old-fashioned rock fight here. Oh, and a huge pick. And they'll help her up. Paquette, forearm shiver. That's going to be Payne. And according to the scores table, that is 3 fouls on Payne. 2:55 to go here in this one. Backdoor cut, Murray tried to feed Malls of Fire, but there was too many Crimson Tide folks standing around her. Into the corner it goes. Crawford got it back up top to Smalley. Smalley from the elbow, no. Rebound goes to Wheeler. Very physical game here. Little long arm of the law there, good effort. by Valiant to try to keep it in play. Lynch will check in. And she'll come in for, looks like, Murray. Hana all alone over here, but going up top. Can't get it to go. And the Cardinals can't get the ball. This is the Crimson Tide. Smalley now, operating in the half court. 2:05 to go, third quarter. They will be very patient in this offensive set. Losing the dribble was Valiant, but she was able to get it over to Crawford. Dribble drive, kick out, three-point opportunity, no. And the foul is going to go against. They're calling the foul against Wheeler, and she can't believe it. She was getting ready to take the ball out of bounds. And the referees not making eye contact with one another. So Concord gets the ball. Here we go. That one will go off of Stack, I believe. So this is not been a clinic by any stretch. Backdoor cut, the runner, no good. Paquette gets the rebound. She'll be chased down. She'll reverse field. Into the corner. Lynch isn't shy. Rainmaker, no. Malls of Fire battles for it. She gets the rebound. And the Cards will set things back up onto the baseline. And Wheeler cleans it up. So that one goes to Great Malls of Fire with the hustle play there. You won't read that one in the scorebook, but we saw it here on the highlight guy. A chant of defense coming from the BG faithful. Baseline, help. Got there late. Stack will get called for the foul. That'll be her third. And Whitney Valiant will head back to the line for a pair. 5'11" junior missed her first two attempts of the third quarter. She'll get two more. Acoustic shadows here in the gym as she knocks down the first. Tickles the twine. TB will check in, as will Jalen Jefferson for the visitors. Valiant with 11, going for her 12th here. (46-38), 8-point Guertin advantage, 55 seconds to go in this one. The number 9 seed, Concord High Crimson Tide, playing with all kinds of fire. Lynch throws one up, clearing the glass. And Wheeler with a hustle play. That one's going to go against Smalley. That'll be her second personal. 6 team fouls against the Cards, 4 against Concord. Over the top it goes, and an offensive foul call on Paquette. They're going to say she pushed off on the inbound pass. And when you have position, not sure you need to do that, but you'll watch it back on the highlight guy. See if it was a legitimate call or not. You be the judge. Easy for me to say. Runner in the lane, no good, cleared up there. And they're going to, I don't know what the call is. They're going to say she stepped on the baseline, I suppose. At this point, we'll pull things out from a hat and see what we get. Paquette over the half-court line finds Wheeler. Malls of Fire now with 12 seconds to go. Paquette, 10 seconds now. Cards holding for the last shot. 8-point advantage. 4, 3, and the ball goes out of bounds, so 46-38, 2.5 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Stack will check back in. And Hana will check out. So we'll see what the Cards try to run here. A little bit of confusion on the inbound pass. Stack got to shoot it. Didn't get a shot off. There was only 2 seconds on the clock, and I think some confusion, overthinking things a little bit. Catch the ball, shoot the ball. But from up here, I've never missed a shot like that. We'll head to the fourth quarter. 46-38 Cardinal advantage, and if you came here for a ballet dance, you ain't getting that. This is a good old-fashioned rock fight here on the campus of Bishop Guertin. All kinds of fun things happening, and I will say, I got to give the officials have not worked a lot of three-man crews here this year from the standpoint of, look, it's always been two-man or two-person crews, and now you have three. You're covering a lot more floor. You're seeing a lot more area than you normally would, so those calls could be legit. They're just not being seen maybe through the course of a regular season game because you can't see as much floor. And that's just the nature of things. And we get used to a certain style of play, but it's playoff time. Things are going to be a little tighter. Things are going to be a little more physical. And that's kind of what you want. The best teams playing in March. Nice pass underneath. No. Good positioning there by Wheeler. Jump ball going to be called. Guertin gets possession. And you have to give it to Coach Darrell and his staff here. This Crimson Tide team has played with all kinds of fire and determination here today. And a nice finish underneath by Muller. Is I thought they might try to take more advantage of that throughout the course of the night. Muller actually thought about passing it to the baseline, then realized she was about a step from the basket and had a nice make there. Fired from the outside, Yahtzee! Three-point shot, Jalen Jefferson. Skip pass across the way, Malls of fire. She'll work against Smalley, one dribble, lose it, back they go to TB. And I would do that all night. Of course, with a different result. 7:01 to go here in the fourth quarter. 7-point Cardinal advantage. This one going to go right down to the wire. The runner in the lane is no good. Too much mustard on that hot dog. TB clears the glass. Back the other way comes Paquette. Skip pass across the way. TB has it. Bounce pass Paquette. They'll reverse the floor. Bounce pass on the low block. Pretty pass. Midline jumper. And no. Rebound up. Battled for. Malls of Fire kept that one alive. And again, you're not going to see that in the stats. But because of Molly Smith, Megan Stack was able to get that rebound and put it back up. And she got hacked in the act. That'll be Smalley's third person to go with her 13 points. Stack will head to the free throw line. She's got 12. 13. Murray will check in for Malls of Fire, and good work by her. Still getting her preseason legs under her. She hasn't had a lot of action here this year, but she's back at just the right time, no question about it. Stack misses the second of two, 1 out of 2 for her. Back the other way come the Crimson Tide. They're down by 8 with 6:24 to play. Winner here to face Goffstown in the semifinals. Paquette with a steal, goes the length, and finishes at the other end. Duford now, up over the top. And the long arm of the law, Brooke Muller intercepts that one. But the ball gets stolen by Smalley. Jumper, no. Paquette gets the rebound. And a 3-on-none. Pretty finish, take your pick. It was either gonna be Wheeler or Stack. Paquette had her choice. She found Stack. Timeout called, a full timeout by the Crimson Tide. 53-41, a little bit of breathing room here for the Cardinals, but still a lot of basketball to play. 5:56 to go here in the fourth. And again, we're going to invoke the Colleen from Cornwall. I said hello to her at the beginning of the second half, but we need some more power. We need some more juice. So Colleen, send those positive vibes from the banks of the Hudson. 53-41, Cardinals 5:56 to go here in this one. Hello to Mike, Debbie, Aaron, Emily, and Raz from Amherst. Aiden from Keene. How goes it? Wayne and Martha from Allenstown. Nice to see you. And of course, Uncle Don. Heal up, Uncle Don. Hope you're watching us all the way from up north. From Gilmanton Ironworks. That is a real place, folks. Into the corner it goes, fired from the outside, no, back iron. Stack goes up tall for that one, and she'll run. She doesn't have the numbers, she'll pull things back. Goes to Paquette, she'll pull back, and they'll operate in the half court. 12-point advantage, Cards just need to work for a good shot. They don't have to force things here. Comes up to the high elbow, bounce pass, jump shot, no, rebound goes to Jefferson. And she's played a great game on the boards here tonight for the Crimson Tide. Smalley pulls things back, marked up closely there by Murray. Crossover dribble, lost the handle, found its way to Valiant's hands. Backdoor cut, good help defense up and over TB, but she altered that shot. Ball's gonna go off of Murray. And checking in will be Layton for the Crimson Tide and Hannah for the Cardinals. Playoff basketball at its finest. Well, we'll have to define finest maybe. Onto the baseline it goes. Good help defense, and bodies hit the floor as Valiant gets back up. Layton now looking for a backdoor cutter, was covered nicely. Hannah steps in the lane and she'll run. Here comes Murray, goes up strong, no call. Two Crimson Tide players roll over one another. And they hit each other to cancel themselves out as Murray went underneath it. Back the other way comes Layton. Nice bounce pass, stepping into the passing lane. Paquette goes to the rack and finishes strong. Chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way. And a foul on the floor. And that's going to be Smalley's fourth personal. Crawford will check in. Layton will check out. Paquette will head back to her second home, the free throw line. Knocks it down. She's got 16. Stack with 15. Paquette with 16. Extending the defense out. The runner in the lane is no good. Nice rebound there. Couldn't get it to go. And we got a foul call. And they're calling Stack on the foul. So it will be the sixth team or eighth team foul. So heading to the line will be Sophia Payne. She's done some good work on the glass, hasn't scored since the first quarter. Stack has 4 personals. Offensive rebound there, little leather souffle from Stack, and I think they're going to call the Crimson Tide for a foul. They are indeed, and that's going to do it for Smalley. I think that'll close the book on her. By my count, that'll be her 5th team foul, and the head scorebook agrees it is 5 on her. So she'll get a nice round of applause. The book will close on Smalley. She has 13. She only had 2 in the first meeting between these two teams, so a huge effort by Smalley in this one. Full timeout called here, 58-41, 3:56 to go. Winner to face Goffstown in the semifinals. And as far as tomorrow's games go, folks, just to let you all know, a decision will be made regarding tomorrow's quarterfinals at 10 a.m. So if you were looking forward to going to watch Nashua North host Exeter and Nashua South host Bishop Guertin, a decision will be made by Lisa Gingras, the Nashua Athletic Director, by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Word on the street is both of those games could be moved to Sunday at the same times, 2 and 4:30. So stay tuned to the Nashua School District website on that one. Hannah Lynch will head to the line. 1-on-1 opportunity. Her first rainmaker is true. Jefferson will check back in for Layton. Two out of two for Hannah. She has 5. Crossover dribble now, Duford. Hands it off. Crawford got it over to Valiant. Little 3-player weave. Baseline jumper, no. Stack. And a foul will be called against Payne, I believe, and I think that's her 4th foul as well. So good positioning on that one by Stack. She'll head to the free throw line. 1-on-1 opportunity for her. 8 fouls for both the Crimson Tide and the Cardinals. Misses the first. Good battle there by TB, but Crimson Tide come away with the rebound. Baseline drive thrown up there, and Cards will run. Thrown up, and good body control. And Murray's wondering where the whistle was on that one. She's got 6. Lynch comes back the other way. Valiant gets back into the defensive picture a little bit slowly, but got her hand on it. And I don't know what the call is here. They're going to say Lynch with the player-controlled foul. Yeah, I got nothing. So Daly and Gilmore will check in. Stack and Murray will check out. 62-41 Cardinals, but final score not indicative of how this one has been. From the outside, fired from distance, no. And somebody make a call. Okay, there it is, jump ball. Crimson Tide will get the ball. So, Jefferson working on the baseline against Daly, can't get it to go. Paquette will get it and come back the other way. Paquette initiating, yeah. And you know what? That's a legitimate call. Paquette was initiating contact. That's a legitimate call. You'll watch that one back on the highlight guy and see that she was doing that. So, we've seen just about everything in this one. Outside, fired. I think a piece was gotten. Fired again from the outside. A rainmaker is knocked down by Duford. That is her 9th point, her 3rd three-pointer of the day. Oh, crossover. Steal, Valiant, up and in. 62-46 now. 2:10 to go in this one. Crossover dribble, Lynch. They don't have to shoot, but Gilmore will, and she'll Yahtzee from the outside. Gilmore knocks one down. 19-point Card advantage. Valiant to the elbow. Little spin move in the lane. Jumper is good. 64-46. 1:40 to go. Gilmore. Lynch. Top of the key now. Cards will just look to move the ball around. And a foul called there. It's going to be against Valiant. That's just her. I believe it's her second personal. Full timeout called for the Crimson Tide. A little bit of lack of communication here. Both teams now alerted to the fact. 64-48, 1:26 to go in this one. Jason Roby calling the action for you here. Steve Cody is the man on the moving pictures, and he is the highlight guy. So we want to thank you all for watching with us here this evening. It has been something of an experience. Don't have many more descriptors than that. You'll have to watch it back on the replay and form your own opinion, as I'm sure many of you already have anyway. I digress. 1:26 to go in this one. So Coach Craik will send to the floor TB, Gilmore, Daly, Paquette, and Malls of Fire. Coach Darrell will respond with Duford, Payne, Jefferson, Valiant, and I believe Crawford. Paquette knocks it down. She will get a second. Two out of two. Buzzer sounds, and coming in will be Kendra Patel. Paquette will head to the bench. Book will close on her. She finishes the night with 18. So 1:20 to go in this one, and it has been all that in a bag of chips. Brought back out Valiant, the runner in the lane. And she will not go quietly. Back the other way comes Daly. Needs some help. Got it over to Malls of Fire. We'll see if they foul. They do not. Malls of Fire comes away with it. Daly now, left-hand dribble, kick back out, Gilmore over to Patel. She'll pull things over, got to watch that carry. They'll be working on that in practice this week. And the Cardinals are going to escape this one. This is not been an easy one for BG. Defensively, they've done great work. They held the Crimson Tide to 9 points in the third quarter and 10 in the fourth quarter, but they'll look at that 22-point first quarter and have to make some amends there. Survive and advance. That's the name of the game here, folks. Well, it's actually basketball, but you get the point. Patel, skip pass across the way, TB. 10 seconds to go now. She'll take a couple of dribbles. Bring it out to the top of the key. And the Cards are going to head back to the state semifinals. Your final here in this one. And it was all kinds of difficult, but BG will survive and advance. A 66-48 winner over the Concord Crimson Tide. And the number 9 seed Crimson Tide have nothing to be ashamed about. They played a whale of a game and gave it a terrific effort. A much different game than the 74-36 game back on January 31st. And if you think about it, it was, from a scoring standpoint, 7 points off of what the Cardinals score, or 8 points off what they scored in that first game, but shooting lights out in that first quarter with 22 big ones. We'll get Coach Craik going to send us somebody up here. We'll see who he gives us. I don't know. I think he's going to send us someone, Steve. We'll see who he chooses. And it's going to be great Malls of Fire. Grab the headset right there, Molly. How are you? Living the dream, kid. Have a seat. First of all, welcome back.
Thanks.
How you feeling? How's everything going?
Pretty good.
Yeah, good.
Happy to be back.
I'm glad you're back. I haven't had a chance to say Malls of Fire all year. Now I finally get to say it. Well, a tough quarterfinal game here. Let's talk a little bit about this one before we talk about the semifinal game upcoming here. This is a Concord High team that really gave you everything they had, and especially in that first quarter. They scored 22 in that first quarter. What was the message at halftime from Coach Craik?
We knew we needed to get it together. We had 4 themes for the week, and we weren't doing any of them, so we basically just reset ourselves, got back to what we do instead of focusing on the other team.
Well, those 4 themes, to not having done any of them, that certainly spells disaster.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10. But you guys kept battling back, and you started to really get that defensive grind going there in the second half. Is that's kind of been the mantra all year for you guys,
Yep,
hasn't it?
That was our first theme, defense.
Theme number 1, defense. Look at that. See, Steve, we're calling it up here. We're great up here. Molly, talk to us a little bit about what the experience has been like for you, not being able to play for most of the regular season and then coming back in really at the end of the season. What's that been like for you from a couple of standpoints? 1, from a competition standpoint, and 2, from a conditioning standpoint, because a lot of times it takes a few games to get your legs under you. How's that been for you?
Yeah, well, I've been working the whole time I was out just to try to stay in shape, elliptical, all that kind of stuff. So it hasn't been that bad coming back.
Good.
And I had like a week before I was able to practice to really get back in shape, so running and jogging and stuff like that. And I really think, well, while I was off the court, I just had to keep an upbeat, cheer on the bench, bring energy.
What have you missed the most from being, obviously you're here at every practice, you're training, you're rehabbing, all those kinds of things, but what's the thing that you miss the most about being with this team in terms of the games and so forth?
Just being able to go out and play.
Yeah. Frustrating, I imagine, on a lot of levels.
Very.
Now you're finally back out there. Now, speaking of being back out there, you've earned a semifinal date with the Goffstown Grizzlies. They defeated Pinkerton. They beat Pinkerton, I think, by 9 or so at their place. A team that you're familiar with. You guys did battle with them earlier in the year, and probably a much different team than when you guys faced them earlier on. But it could also be said that you were a much different team because you were not on the floor back then when you played Goffstown all those weeks ago.
Yeah, well, either way, we played them towards the beginning, kind of.
Yep.
So everyone's going to be a different team by the end of the season, so it's really new matchup.
Yeah, absolutely right. And so I have to ask, because I've asked every player that's come up here into the nest during this interview, what's the goal for this team? What is the thing that this team is looking forward to most of all?
Winning another championship.
There it is, yeah. And a lot of work to do before that, but certainly Malls of Fire, happy to be back on the floor, happy to be amongst her teammates, and happy to be going back to the state semifinals. You will face the Goffstown Grizzlies in what should be an outstanding matchup. Molly, congratulations on a grinded-out win here. Great to see you back on the floor. Look forward to covering you in a couple of nights.
Thank
Great
you.
Malls of Fire, Molly Smith, finishing the night here on the floor with her Cardinal teammates, and they will head to the state semifinals where they will do battle against the Flying Largies. Steve Largy led Goffstown Grizzly. Well, this has been quite an experience here tonight. Quarterfinal basketball at its finest, depending on how you define that. A Bishop Guertin team that wins 66-48, but congratulations to Coach Darrell and his Concord Crimson Tide. They had an outstanding game plan. They shot lights out from the first quarter on and just played with a fire and a determination that is worthy of walking out with your heads held high. This Guertin team will advance. They'll head to the semifinals, as we mentioned, and we will be covering that game for you here. We don't have the exact schedule yet, but we will get that to you as we find out. So thank you all for watching us tonight on The Highlight Guy. For the man on the moving pictures, Steve Cody, my name is Jason Roby, reminding you that it is not the critic who counts, but you can always count on the critic. Get ready for that big winter storm coming, folks. Have a great night.